Hello, welcome all to this webinar. Our theme is Arm Your Small Business to Fight Cybercrime. And this is the first of a three-part series. So you are actually here for a condensed version of our live webinar that took place yesterday. So we hope you enjoy it. And to get us started, we have Chris.
So really, we discussed two things that you need to keep in mind, and that's the inventory control of all your hardware and the inventory control of all the software. And so now as we go through this list, we're going to just take them piece by piece, and whether it's hardware or software, it really comes down to one question that we need to start off with: who? Who am I storing data about? Now, this is whether PHI or PII. So what comprises PII? Well, PII is personally identifiable information. So when it comes to data governance, all these little pieces of data that we see here on these two columns on our list are all the pieces that you need to worry about protecting. This is what makes up the person, your most valuable assets, whether it be your employees, business owners, or your customers, those that support your business. And these are the things that you need to protect, that we need to protect. And so what about PHI, protected health information? Well, now you can see there's 18 identifiers here, but now whenever any of the PII is used in conjunction with, connects to one's physical or mental health or condition, healthcare, one's payment for healthcare, well, then now it becomes PHI. And you need to if you fall into this category in healthcare, then you need to be able to protect this, whether it's in physical paper form or it becomes ePHI, electronic protected health information. And so these are the pieces that we are going to be talking about. And so now that brings up more questions. That adds to that, what am I storing? What aspects of PII is there that identifies the person? What else might you be storing? Are there trade secrets, intellectual property? Are there things that you don't want anyone else to get hold of, financial information? There's personal things that perhaps you have about your business. Now we need to know, well, where is it being stored? What hardware is it? Is it on a computer? Which computers? Where is the computer? Is it on a mobile device? Do you allow BYOD? Do your employees have access to that data? Is it on USB devices? Is it stored in someone's email if it's not company email? Where have copies been sent? And so we can go on and on with some of these questions, but you need to know where that information is. And now when it comes to data governance, you may need to know the question when. When did I store it? How long am I legally obligated to keep that data, and for what period of time? And that could change no matter what field you're in. Maybe it's healthcare, maybe 7 years, maybe legal. There's certain requirements. Maybe you may even need to wonder, well, why even do I have the data? Maybe it's marketing data, things that or other miscellaneous data that after a while it's just there's no need to keep it. So understanding why you have the data will be able to help you to see it. Well, how long you need to protect it, and what measures you need to take to protect it. Which brings us to another question. How is it protected? Is it encrypted? What measures have you taken to make sure that no one has access to that data, even if it was lost? Maybe a physical device was lost, a phone, a computer, a USB drive, lost, damaged, or what if it was stolen? How is it protected also comes into question if any of those things happen, because now you need to you'll be able to know, well, will you be fined if that data was accessible? Well, then that might be likely, depending on the regulations. How many copies exist and where? These are all questions that you want to be able to ask yourself. Another one, do I have control over the hardware and or software? If you have company data, personal data, PHI that's stored in software, do you have control over that software? Is it someone's personal email, maybe free mail? Are they using some sort of file sharing system that isn't company owned and they're taking copies with them? Are they storing copies on their phone? If you don't have control over that data, then can you really protect it? And so let's just sum it up. When it comes down to the hardware, do you have an inventory of all the devices on your network? How many computers, phones, tablets, cameras, IoT devices, that could be thermometers, doorbells, on your network, printers? Do you have an inventory of all of them? Do you own all of the ones that you find? Many of the networks that we come across, there are individuals connecting to them. There's hardware on there that no one knows who they belong to. And if you don't know who they belong to, then who has control over them? And if you don't, who does? What do they have access to? Are they secure? Is there proper antivirus? Did you just allow someone to connect your network, and now as a result of that, you're infected by a malicious threat actor? Do they have the latest updates? What about, do you allow anyone to insert any USB drives into your computers? And many times that's an attack vector that individuals, threat actors, will use to gain control over the hardware. And when it comes to software, similar questions. Do you have control over all of the software? Was it purchased? Is it registered, licensed to the company and not to a particular person that does not have managing control interest in the business? Who controls them if you don't? If you don't control them, can you control the data that's within the software? Who purchased, registered for the software? If you didn't, and it's not by someone that manages the business, well, then you may not have control. Does everyone have permissions to install the software they desire? Hopefully not. We find in many instances, in fact, the majority, that every workstation has administrator access, which means they can do whatever they would like. And what would be the damage if a threat actor got control of that computer? So then you may be wondering, is there any malicious software running on your computer at this point? How do you know? So what we're going to do is we're going to show you something. This is just the log that comes from the hardware of a firewall, the log of what happens when threat actors try to scan your network. As you can see, if you don't know what's on your network, threat actor will. They'll find what's running, what software is running, what hardware is there. Is the software, does it have any vulnerabilities? Have there been updates done? They're going to be finding out what they can do to find a weakness, to find a hole, a pinhole, to get into your business. So that's our summary. And so feel free to get in touch with us if you need some solutions to help you identify the devices, identify the software, and how you can gain control over each of them. And so this is our info. There's Elizabeth, and there I am. And here we have a QR code that will take you straight to our website, and you have our information. You can reach us at 956-750-7310. We'll see you in part 2.